What's up, guys? Welcome to another video, and we're doing a bike rundown over my S-squared Answer bike. We put Pro Max cranks on here, HD pedals, ODI grips. Always run those ODIs. They're like the best grip ever. Got flat iron tangent bars, Answer fork. Obviously, got the big old sticker on there. I got NV rims, Songringle. They are not carbon. You can do carbon. I just personally wouldn't run a disc, or not a disc brake, a V brake on it. That will crack your carbon frame. No, carbon rim will crack that eventually. Don't recommend it. Do a disc brake if you're really trying to save that weight. I personally just work hard in the gym. You know, obviously the S-squared frame, it's a pro size frame. We have a Spider, or a Tioga Spider pivotal seat, and this is basically the whole bike here. We're gonna go over torquing, and so torquing is just tightening to a certain adjustment or a certain point, so that you keep everything from falling apart and not over tightening but not under tightening. It's a sweet spot, but you don't need that for everything on a bike. Only for these, which keep you alive. You're not ripping your bars off, not sliding them back or forward. Torque wrench for this, not very tight at all. It's like 20 pounds of pressure. It's very low. These are a little bit higher. I forgot what these are, but you got Newton meters. We convert those to inch pounds. 10 to 12 Newton meters. I'd go for 12 personally. Sorry, I'd go for 12 personally because you don't want it to be loose, and it will just be tighter longer. You can hand tighten this stuff, just snug it up. But for the grips, I would just crank those down, not super hard, but crank them down just a little bit. Warn, do not over tighten your hubs, especially this back one. This will cause your bearings to lock up, and then your wheel won't be able to spin, or it won't be able to spin as well. But don't ride on it. It will ruin your hub. I don't think you can really over tighten your front one, but I would still be cautious of it. Just snug it up, not super tight, but tight enough to where it's not wiggling. And then once you see like it stopped wiggling, just tighten it down a little bit more, but just don't over tighten it. You can hand tighten the bolts here for your adjustments. You can hand tighten these, just don't don't snug them up super tight, because then that'll just ruin your crank bolts. Crank bolts. What's it called? I don't know. The thing that holds your pedals on. They'll ruin that part of your crank. I get so for this, this here. Forgot what it was called, but you can pull it out and push it back in. It has a bolt here for most of them, at least. I would hope they would have them for all of them, but there's a bolt right here, and you can tighten that to a certain point to where this doesn't move. I've never over tightened it, but I'm scared of over tightening it when I put my pivotal, or not my tall seat on it. I just don't want to hurt my bike. And some of the stuff could be different for carbon frames. I'm not completely certain. I know there's carbon fork, obviously, a carbon frame, carbon handlebars, carbon seat post. What else? I don't know. Carbon rims, and especially for the carbon rims, please don't run your your V-brakes on that, which are these right here. You don't want to run these on those for very long, at least. It's going to crack your rim if it's carbon, and I would go with the disc brake. But yeah, I don't know what else. Spare tip, if your tire pops, look on the inside of the tube. If it's popped on the inside, if there's a puncture, so if you don't know where the puncture is, pump it up, and then you'll hear the sound, you'll look for it, you can see it, it's bigger, and then you can look, and if it's on the inside, look around your rim tape, which is just a cover for your spokes and the spoke holes, so that you don't pop your tube. If it's on the inside, adjust your rim tape, or just get new rim tape and put that on, because the rim tape might be too loose, might have gotten stretched out or something, but for being taken on and off very, like, a lot. But also for your chain, don't run it like where you can only like move it like that much. You're gonna ruin your chain. This is like basically perfect right here. Don't run it like that. Run it like around there. You can run it even looser. Especially if these are wider, like the Renin chain rings. The tooths are spread out and they're thicker, they're bigger, and that will allow you to run this even looser, and you can have a better free spin, and that just allows, I don't know, just better free spin, and just helps keep the bike healthy. But for the torque, you know, these are about 100. That's 100. At least 100 on these. You know, you can go 110, 120 at the absolute max. I would not go above that. Maybe 90 at its lowest, depending on the type of stem and the type of handlebar. If it's carbon, if it's aluminum, if it's steel, whatever. For this, as you can see closely, 0.7 to 1.5 newton meters. And me and my dad have converted that to inch pounds. And then for the cranks, same thing. These are 10 to 12 newton meters for these bolts right here. I don't know if you can see that, but those bolts. Convert those on Google. It's super easy. Just newton meters to inch pounds, and then put in whatever it is, 0.7 or 12, whatever it is. For your chainring bolts, I know that, you know, there's star bolts, there's these alloy type of bolts, you know, and, you know, make sure that you have the correct stuff for these types of bolts. I know I have like an hex key at the star. I think that's a hex key, but, you know, make sure that you know what's on there, and that you're able to have that stuff in your toolbox in case your stuff comes loose on a race day or something like that. For these adjusters, hand tighten those. There's no need for torquing, that's just wasting your time. These, hand tighten. This, hand tighten if you got it. Hand tighten, personal preference for these. And, oh yeah, for these, right here, hand tighten. Do not over tighten. You will hurt this part of the crank. Make sure that there's a ring that keeps your pedals from ruining this part of the crank, and you don't want to ride that without that, because you're going to ruin your cranks. It's going to make them weaker and more dangerous to ride on. For your grips, I would recommend ODI. They are so good. But anyways, hand tighten those. Hand tighten this and this. And that's basically all there is to the bike. And just keep sure that you're always on the bike. Make sure that you're able to just make sure that it's safe to ride on. Never ride with, if you think something's wrong with it, if you hear something loose or you feel something loose, check your bike, get off of it immediately and just check it, get your toolbox out. And I would just do a run through every week, every 2 weeks, you know, making sure that your bike is up to par. And yeah, just run what you need to. Yeah, that's all I got for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. I will see you in the next video. I'm going to try and do an edit for this national that I'm doing, Raytown, Mid-American National, something like that. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Hope you have a great day, evening, night, whenever you're watching this. I shall see you in the next video. Peace. I'm out.